Um, you can see my phone screen and the apps that I am using. Come on, there we go. Perfect. I'm going to pull chat back up so that way if you have questions, you can ask them in the chat here. And we'll get going. So after the class is over today, I will email you a handout from today's class that will include a picture of the app icon, so that way you know what you're looking for in your app store, and a short synopsis of what it does. Today I'm going to open each app and give you a brief overview, show you kind of how it works. And then if you have questions about a particular app, I'll answer those as well. Then at the end, I have some honorable mentions that didn't necessarily make it into the handout or on the class itself, but that I think are still really good apps. So we will start with apps for productivity. So I have a handful here, and the first one we're going to talk about is this Dashlane app. So Dashlane is a password management a password management app. So it stores passwords and then it can be used to autofill those passwords on your device. So it does require an email address to create an account. And there is a free and a premium version. So what we're looking at now is the free version. You can store 50 passwords with the free version, and it remains free for forever. Some of the paid versions include, or some of the paid features include more password storage, and then some of the extra tools are all premium features. But it's a nice, secure password storage. You only have to remember one password, the password to get into this, and then it will store the rest. You can add a password. If there's something you wanted to add a password for, type your password in, save it, and then now you never have to remember a password for this account. You can just come to Dashlane and get it, or have Dashlane autofill it for you. Any questions about Dashlane? All right. So the next app that we're going to talk about is Evernote. Evernote is notes and document storage. Your phone or tablet or device comes with a note-taking program already installed. But if you are like me and you like to have notes all over the place and lots of different types of notes and things like that, Evernote is a really good one. You can customize, you can use templates. So if you wanted to work on a gift tracker, you can apply that template and add all of this information. So they have pre-made templates, or you can just make your note yourself. This one also requires an email address to create the account itself. And it does offer a paid version, so that way you can access things like offline access or in-depth searching. But I find the free version to be plenty. I don't feel like I need any more than this. So you can add photos, links, check boxes, all kinds of stuff, all in the note-taking app itself. Any questions? All right. So the next one we're going to talk about is Google Drive. Um, so Google Drive is a file storage application. You do have to have a Gmail email account, but once you have that Gmail email address, you get 15 gigabytes of free storage through all of the Google things. So that's 15 gigabytes total for your email, Google Drive, photos, whatever. You can store so many things in here. And then it's wonderful because it's accessible on any device or computer that has an internet connection. So I have a bunch of files up top. In each folder, I have different kinds of documents. I have images, PDFs, Word documents, whatever that may be. And I can access them on any device, and I don't have to worry about making sure that I have my documents with me. Um, I use this regularly, 3 or 4 times a week. The next app we have is Scan Pro, and I think this one is super cool. Let me get my paper here. So Scan Pro is mobile scanning. So I can hold my phone above a document and take a scan of that. So this is just loose leaf paper that I had on my table here, scanned it in. I can crop, I can rotate if I needed to add a filter. I can change the name of it. Save it, send it, share it. So if I needed to email a PDF, if somebody sent me a document I needed to sign, or I had a document I needed to sign, you can scan it with your mobile phone, send it as a PDF, however that may be. It's fantastic. I use this one regularly too. Are there any questions about any of the productivity apps? Perfect. All right. So the next kind of apps we're going to talk about are apps for health. So I have several different of these, and they vary in purpose, but they're all generally around health and healthy activity. So the first one is All Trails, and All Trails is trail maps and trail information. There is no account necessary, but you can see I have an account. It's saying good morning, Haley. With an account, you can mark hikes as favorite or add your own reviews of different hikes. And what I think is cool is you can search for a specific trail or search for an area to view nearby trails. So if I'm headed down to Breckenridge, I can do a search for Breckenridge and find trails near Breckenridge. It tells you how hard they are, what the rating is, the length. If I tap into it, I can see more information, including the elevation gain, what kind of route it is. I can view other people's reviews. This is great, super helpful in the winter during the shoulder seasons when it's super muddy, or areas where wildlife frequents. I always use my husband and my trip to Glacier National Park as an example for this one. We were trying to figure out what hike we wanted to do, and I kept checking the reviews, and one trail, every person said they saw a grizzly bear. So we chose the other trail. Saw grizzly bears on that hike too, but it wasn't as many. So that's All Trails. It's fantastic. I use it regularly. You can save hikes, save your reviews, whatever that may be. Any questions about All Trails? All right. So the next one is Colorado specific and it's called CoTrex, the Colorado Trail Explorer, excuse me. So this is an app developed by Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the Department of Natural Resources. And basically what it does is it maps every trail in the state of Colorado. It's fantastic because it's not just hiking trails. It includes mountain biking or ATV trails, or if you just want a paved path to walk on, it has all of that. You can save maps for offline use. So that way you can, sorry, my cat's gone crazy back here. Hey, stop it. You can save them, you can mark them, you can get more information on them. So this is part of the Colorado Trail. As I go through, I can see what it allows. So it allows hiking, horses, and bikes, but no dogs. And it also tells you what kind of surface it is. So if you wanted a paved surface, let me find one that I know is paved. So here it's telling you surface is paved, dogs are allowed on a leash, things like that. You can open the full trail page, see all of it, download it for offline use if that's something you needed. It's fantastic. You can do specific searches, filter by different things. If you wanted to find a trailhead, change your length, whatever that may be, you're able to do that. And the best part is it's totally free. All right, the next app I have is Foodukate, which is a nutrition and health tracker. It does require an email address to create an account, but it is free. You can enter your lifestyle information, and they give you a target calorie goal, how many calories you should eat each day. What I like about this app is it rates your food. Let's see. So if I do a search for a fried egg, let's say I had eggs for breakfast, it's showing me that that's a B+ food. And so I can go through and see more information. It'll give you healthy alternatives. If you need a difference, you know, you're eating a D or an F food and you wanted a better alternative, you could get information like that. I like the ratings. So if I added something that I know, so like that's a D+. So it'll rate it for me and it'll tell me what I've got going on. As you add, it tells you how many calories you have left for the day, what your goal is, things like that. They do have a paid subscription for no ads, as well as more detailed information about the food you're eating. So if you were interested in tracking macros or something like that, this app could do that for you. Any questions about Foodukate? All right. So the next one we have is similar. It's also a fitness and food tracking app called MyFitnessPal. So it does require an email address to create an account. They do have a paid subscription for more detailed information, but for the most part, it is free. You don't need that paid subscription. Same deal, you enter your lifestyle information and it gives you a target calorie goal. You can see this one has my target calories is 200 lower than Foodukate. You can connect with friends on MyFitnessPal, so you can have, if somebody else is doing calorie tracking, you can connect with them. But you can also connect with other apps like Fitbit. So if you had a Fitbit and you wanted it to track your exercise automatically, you are able to connect to that. It does work the same way. I can add food. Let's search for a fried egg. Um, and then I can see the breakdown of what it was at it. Now at the top, I have 1,700 left for the day. So it doesn't give you the food rating the same way FujiKate does, but it is a very similar service. Any questions about MyFitnessPal? All right. So the next one is My Life Meditation. I like this meditation app a lot. There's no account required. You don't have to make one. What I like about this one is you can start with a check-in to get recommended mindfulness sessions. So I want you to start out taking a breath. I'm physically, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling mentally? Are there any emotions you wanted to add? And then it'll give you recommended results. So quick 10-minute, 5-minute sessions. Or if I just wanted to meditate or breathe, I can just set a timer and do that. So I like this one for that check-in, so I can kind of see what I need for the day. But I can also just explore and find different sessions as I need them. So, but the check-in feature is really cool. All right. The next app is called Plant Nanny. This one's kind of a cutesy, fun app. It's a water intake tracker. There's no account necessary. But what you do is you choose plants to grow, and as you drink water, you can water your plant. So if I've already had a bottle of water today, I can tap and hold, water my plant, and it tells me how many more bottles, liters, whatever unit of measurement you've put in, how many more you're going to need for that day. So it's going off of that, like 8 glasses of water a day. You can grow your plants, they get bigger, they change. As you grow more, you can unlock more in different kinds of plants. So like I said, it's kind of a cutesy app, but if you are actively trying to drink more water, the gamification in this app can make it more fun for you. Any questions about Plant Nanny? All right. The next app is another meditation app. This is my personal favorite meditation app, Smiling Mind. You can work your way through different notifications. I don't know what's happening. Let's see if I can get logged in. Yes. All right. So this one, as I've removed it, re-added it, got new phones, it does track your total meditation. And then it has different things. You can work your way through programs. So if you wanted to do an introduction to mindfulness, or there was something specific you wanted help with, you can do that. Find those programs. I like this one a lot because it does feature things specifically for children or in a classroom or at work. So if you're just overwhelmed, you've got some options here. Body scan is my personal favorite meditation. This is the one I do the most. You can download them. You can do offline use. It's kind of a fun one because it's Australian, so it kind of helps me stay more uh, focused and mindful because I'm actually listening to their voice a little bit more. It's a little harder to tune out when it's an Australian accent rather than an English American accent. So yeah, Smiling Mind. I love this one. And our last health activity app is Strava. It does require an email address to create an account. Um, but once you have that, it is free with an option for a paid subscription for more detailed information about your exercise. But you can track your activity, run, ride, hikes, kayaks, skiing, all kinds of stuff with GPS and get information about your distance, your elevation, your achievements. You can find friends to follow and give or get kudos, join in celebrations, things like this. So you can see person I follow did a 5-mile run this morning with 1,300 feet of elevation gain. So I can see where they went, things like that. You don't have to make your profile public. You can have it be private, and then nobody but you can see that information. But yeah. Any questions about any of our health and exercise apps? All right. So we're going to talk about 3 apps that are geared towards photography next. The first of these is Google Photos. And Google Photos is a photo storage application. So like Google Drive, it does require a Gmail email account. But with Google Photos, you can have unlimited storage of your photos up to 16 megapixels in size. So if you're uploading images that are smaller than that, it'll store them for free. I love this because you can access your photos from any computer or device that has an internet connection. As long as you know your Gmail account password, you can get into your photos. The other thing that's really nice about this is you can automatically back up your pictures, so you don't lose any photos if your phone is lost or damaged. You can have it automatically back up. You can also quickly and easily share photos with others. So if I wanted to send this, I can send it in an email really quickly. Done. You can organize in folders, excuse me, that's the word I was looking for. You can organize in folders, or you can just scroll through all the pictures that you have. So you've got lots of options. Google Photos has a really powerful search feature, so I can search cats, and I can find all the pictures of my cat. So it's pretty cool. The next photo app is Lightroom Mobile. It's a photo editing app. You have to have an Adobe account to use this editing app, but that Adobe account is free. What I like about this is it gives you detailed photo editing. It's almost as powerful as the Lightroom desktop application. So I can go in and I can change color. I can work with a curve. If that is something you're used to doing on a computer, you can make those. Get back. Change the color, do color grading. Excuse me. All of that. So it's a really powerful tool that you can use to edit your pictures. People will also sell presets. So you can add presets if that's something you want to your pictures. have it just automatically change your photo. You can save photos directly to your device. Oops, check that. Export to camera roll, and then now you've got this edited picture on your camera roll. The other photo editing app is Snapseed. There's no account required. You can add that same picture. You can add filters to your picture, so you can just do a quick filter if that's something that you had wanted. Or you can get in and you can do more adjustments. This also has the ability for you to mess with the curves, do whatever you might need to do there, as well as lots of other fun stuff. You can add text in different styles if that's something you needed. So you can add lots of fun stuff with the Snapseed. When you're exporting on Snapseed, it does give you a couple different options. You can share directly to a social media if you wanted to. I could share right to Facebook from here. I can also have 3 options of saving. I can save and it overwrites the original picture, but with changes I can undo. I can save a copy, so I'm not overwriting that original, but I'm still saving with changes that I can undo. Or I can just export, which creates a copy with permanent changes. So you have lots of different choices there. And those are my 3 photo apps. Any questions about that? All right, let's move on to books and movies. I am a librarian. I got to talk about books. So I have a couple of apps specifically for books and movies, some of which are free from the library. So we'll get into it. Our first one is going to be Goodreads. And Goodreads is a book tracking application. So it does require an email address to create an account. And I do always like to give the disclaimer that Goodreads is owned by Amazon. Do with that information what you will, but I do like to make sure people know. You can track the books you're reading, connect with others, view recommendations, all kinds of stuff. I can view all my books, see what I'm reading right at the moment, go through that. You can update progress. If I am finished, I can mark a book as finished, give it a star rating. You can set a goal for the year. I'm 19 books behind schedule for my goal. We'll see if I get there. But you can go through those. The cool thing, let me see. The cool thing with this, let me grab a book. With the Goodreads mobile app is you can scan a book barcode and pull up that book itself. I use this all the time at the library, at bookstores, things like that, to see if it's the first in a series, if it's something I was interested in reading, or if it's something I am interested in reading, but I'm not quite there yet. That way I can mark it as want to read. So it's very cool, and there's no cost to it. It's totally free. So that is Goodreads. Libby is library ebooks and e-audiobooks. There's no email address required, but you do have to have a library card. You can connect all of your libraries to Libby. So you can see I have Jeffco, Bemis, Boulder, Denver, Arapahoe, and Douglas all connected. So I can check out ebooks from all of these libraries. You can send items to a Kindle. So if you are wanting to read, let's see if it works. If you're wanting to read a book on a Kindle device, instead, you are able to do that. So you can send it to a Kindle, read with Kindle. It never costs anything, and that's the beauty of it. I've read so many library books this way. Our next app is Canopy, which is movies streaming from the library. You do have to have an email address and a library card to create your account. With each library, you get a certain number of watch credits, so how many movies you can watch each month. You can add multiple libraries to get more watch credits. It never costs anything in either. So I can go through, pick a movie, and then I've got the play button in the top there where I can play it. If I wanted to see something similar, I can go down to there. This is really cool. They have a kids section, Canopy Kids, where there's kids movies, kids TV shows. They have a lot of PBS programming, but they also do animated picture books. So like Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. You can watch that book be read. They also have access to the Great Courses. So if you're interested in one of the Great Courses subjects, we have those on Canopy as well. And totally free from the library. And then the last app I have is just the Kindle app. So these are Amazon ebooks. It does require an Amazon account, but you can get one of those for free. You do not need Amazon Prime. You only need just an Amazon account. What's cool about this is you can read Kindle books on your smartphone or tablet. So I don't have to pay for a Kindle Paperwhite or a Kindle Fire. I can read my Kindle books right here. It keeps track of your notes, your bookmarks, your highlights across all devices. If I borrowed a book from the library, returned it for a year, borrowed it the next year, any notes and highlights that I made in that book would still be there a year later. So it does save all of that for you. You can, let me open this up. You can change the color. When I read at night, I like that black, that white text on black. You can change that, change the brightness. I have my font size really big, but you can make it even bigger. Change the font type. They do have a dyslexic font. Yeah, and that is the Kindle app. That's all the apps I have. Let me stop and share because I do have a couple of tips for being safe with apps. So this is something I just always like to point out when we're talking about downloading apps. My first tip is don't agree to pop-ups saying that you need to update your app or your device. Cancel that pop-up and go to the app store or your settings to actually do your updates there. So I have two updates. Two updates available here, and I would rather update them this way than from a pop-up, just to be sure I am actually updating from the App Store. The next tip is to make sure you're only using the App Store that comes with your device to download apps. Don't download them off the internet or a third-party app store. Apps that are in the Android App Store and the Apple App Store have at least a little level of vetting before they get in there. So you're less likely to get something that's going to mess up your device. The other thing is that think about why a particular app would be asking for permission to access certain settings on your phone. So the first time you open an app, it might say, Facebook wants access to your camera, your microphone, and your photos. Well, if you're sharing pictures, or taking video, that makes sense. Um, so, for example, Strava, that exercise tracking app we talked about, might ask for access to my location. But it does use GPS to track mileage and elevation gain and loss. So I would be inclined to give Strava access to my location. However, if something like Plant Nanny asks me for my location, I would wonder why. There's not any features in Plant Nanny that require location, so I would deny access to that. You don't have to give an app permission to something just because it asks, and you can always change your mind in settings later on. So you can always go back and change what an app has access to later. The other tip is to make sure you read the fine print. Some apps will have free trials of their paid features. But the free trial will only last 3 days or 7 days, and then immediately it charges you the full cost of membership. Just make sure you read all of the fine print before agreeing to a free trial. Oops, let me come back here. So a couple other apps that I wanted to talk about. One of the biggest questions I get is what weather apps do I like the most? So I will show you the 3 weather apps that I have. So what I use the weather app that comes with my iPhone the most. This is what I typically use. But if I know we're going to get inclement weather, I know a snowstorm's coming, then I open up my other 2. So I also have the Weather Channel and AccuWeather. AccuWeather is great. I like their precipitation forecast, so it'll tell you for the next 60 minutes what precipitation looks like. And you can go through. It also will give accumulation predictions if a snowstorm's coming. Air quality, I think everybody has added air quality this year. This is something I checked every day before I left over the summer. The air was so crazy this year. And your allergy outlook, so it's telling you what we've got going on today as far as allergies go. So that's AccuWeather. They have a radar, daily, hourly. The Weather Channel is good too. This is probably the one I use the least. But when it's snowstorms coming, I usually pick the one that's giving me the highest snowfall predictions, and that's the one I use. I love snow. This one is similar. I've got my hourly or my daily forecast options. I can check radar. You can get information on the daily, what the morning and night will look like. Let's see. They are predicting just rain on Saturday, whereas the iPhone app was predicting snow. But this will tell you here, snow accumulation is less than 1 inch. So I can kind of keep an eye on it. Or I can go to hourly, see what direction the wind is blowing, how hard it's blowing, things like that. You can see they are advertising. They have a premium feature. So if you really like the Weather Channel, you can pay for your subscription. I do not think it's necessary. But they have all the stories that you would get on the Weather Channel website. So you can access all of those on the app as well. Let me stop my share again. I'm going to stop.